Hi Pears.
Hi Amanda.
So we're here in Dublin.
Yeah, in Dublin. Stephen's Green. Hanging out with the beautiful and wonderful seagulls.
So what's it like being vegan in Dublin?
Being vegan in Dublin? It's getting better. It's getting a lot better. There's a vegan cafe open in Dublin. And the community is buzzing with new people. Veganism is getting a lot of exposure in the media every day, in mainstream media, so there's people connecting with it. There's a lot of young people getting connected and wanting to find out more about vegan lifestyle, so meeting new people every week, and like almost every other big city or town, I'd say it's a bit of a challenge as well, because society isn't vegan, so we're all vegans living in a non-vegan world, but it's definitely an improvement from when I first became vegan over 10 years ago. Yeah, people don't do a double take when you tell them you're vegan these days because of the exposure and the kind of all the healthy aspects of the vegan lifestyle that are getting into the media. So it's easier. I'd say it's easier.
Yeah.
We've a long way to go, but it's definitely easier.
Do you think it's a struggle to live in a non-vegan world?
Yeah, it can be, but it's obviously it's not compared to being a human in a non-vegan world. It's not compared to being an animal in a non-vegan world. And, that's what we want. We want people to live vegan for animals, and the other benefits are for the planet and for our own well-being and health. But yeah, it's kind of it's the starting place. It's the minimum you can do for animals. It's not use them or eat them.
Yeah.
So I mean, something I always think about when I'm having a hard time is like, why am I doing this? What's it for? And it kind of puts it into perspective. It makes it seem less difficult, and there's a lot of good things that have happened. There's plenty of vegan options in Dublin. If you're eating out, there's meetups. The community is growing, and as I said earlier, there's a real buzz now around vegan, and it's bringing people into the community, and it's generating interest like never before. So I think there's a lot to look forward to, meeting new people and working with them.
Do you think the world will ever be vegan?
I like to think so. Do we have enough time? Maybe is a really crucial question, when we think about climate change. I'd like to think so. Yeah, it's what we all want. It's what we need. Will the world ever be vegan? Yeah, probably vegan at heart, just afraid to take those steps. So I always like to think, and I think I believe that people will make the right decisions once they're given the information and support that they need. Obviously some won't, they never will. But I think most people will do. There's so little of it out there, so little support when overall in society. I know personally speaking that if I was made aware of the facts around the food systems where meat and dairy came from when I was younger, when I was a kid, if I'd got exposed to this in the education system, I would have definitely decided to live vegan a lot earlier in my life. So yeah, I think that's really so important. If we are going to have a vegan world, is how we disseminate information and how we make connections with people and how we represent and express the message.
What do you think is the best way to promote veganism and spread the message?
One thing that I found always works is food.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a great way to convince people that you can live vegan. It can be fun, it can be tasty, it can be nourishing, and it has all those wonderful social bonding enriching aspects. So, and you know, if someone walks away and they have a beautiful meal or cake in their belly, you know, they can't really, it can really change their mindset. You know, it's one of the things that I realise in my role as a vegan coach, like working with people. After days work, group of people, they've been in the workshop, they all leave and they're full of really tasty, delicious vegan food. And some of them are not vegan, but they're curious. And some are vegan. They're going out into the general society and they're meeting family and friends or colleagues or whatever afterwards. And you know, they're going to talk about that experience. They're going to say, well, yeah, I'm absolutely full now, I've had this delicious meal. Or they're going to, you know, they might get questioned on what it was, you know, what was it made of. And again, they're just generating more interest and curiosity. So I think food's always a winner, you know. So if anybody is vegan and they want to convince people that A, it's safe and healthy, you know, there's no problem meeting your nutritional needs, make a tasty meal and share it with them. And take a photo and put it up on your Instagram account or Facebook account or tweet it. You know, because it's good advocacy, it's good outreach, letting the world know that there are almost an infinite amount of meals that you can have as a vegan, and there's no, you know, so food. Always say food. And if you're doing anything else, whether it's political, animal rights orientated, put in a little bit of food into the outreach. One of the things that I've done is been part of an event called Cake Attack, where we come to a place like Stephen's Green and we come with a whole tray of chocolate vegan cake, and we give out one cake with a piece of outreach material, you know. And the deal is, if you like the cake, well, you've got to take outreach material and you've got to read it.
Yeah.
People enjoy that, you know. Partly because they like to get a little bit of something for their efforts. So they're getting a cake in return for reading a bit of material or engaging with us. But yeah, it goes down well, you know. It just takes the rough edges off the message and literally sweetens it.
So you mentioned you as a vegan coach. What made you decide to be that?
I just super passionate about spreading the message, and I worked in restaurants pre-vegan and post-vegan, and a lot of my work has centred around food, and I'm also a facilitator, a group facilitator, so I kind of wanted to bring the skill set together and use that to do outreach and help people. I looked around and I was looking around to see what was available in Dublin for people that had kind of been awoken by, you know, some information they've received about their food systems, animals in the food system, and because there's a lot of great groups in Dublin working on the streets doing that, but then there wasn't much for the person who's connected with that to kind of support them afterwards. So we have Facebook groups and occasional meetups, but there wasn't a dedicated course or workshop that was there to answer questions and support them and you know, take them one-on-one, deal with issues as best you possibly could. So that was the main motivation, and it's worked really well. We've run them over 3 weeks. We're using that idea that it takes about 21 days to change a habit.
Yeah.
So they can come into the workshop and they spend about 2.5 to 3 hours with us. It's all centred around food, of course, but we take them through. We have a few landmarks that we always try to get to and beyond, and they deal with the usual questions that people have around nutrition, protein, how do you bake without eggs, what can you use instead of dairy, what do I need to look after in terms of health. And it goes right through to, you know, living with people who aren't vegan, working with colleagues who aren't vegan, how to cope well with questions, you know, put you off, or you might be offended by, or you have to deal with uncomfortable situations when you're eating out, traditional holidays. Just try and encourage people to understand that it's a long journey. They've got the rest of their life to work on it, and that they have support. And the courses have worked really well. Like, it's great that people can go, they can try it, they can come back, and they have that, and friendships have been made in there that have lasted beyond the course, and those people are still supporting each other. So it gives them an opportunity to really develop a support network with people they've met face to face off social media, and that's fantastic. And I've learned loads from it as well. Absolutely learned loads. I've been very, very privileged to meet wonderful people, see really dramatic changes. People coming in and kind of proclaiming themselves to coming from backgrounds that, their dietary choices were very meat heavy, to taking a step closer to being vegan, and people actually deciding in the course to live vegan, and then coming and thanking me afterwards. It was really humbling, really humbling.
Yeah,
I had
definitely.
never actually thought that would happen, but I'm absolutely delighted that it has.
That's cool.
That keeps me motivated.
Yeah. Then there's another project that you're doing, which is Dublin Vegfest.
Yeah.
Sounds like quite a big project. What inspired you to do that?
Well, obviously looking around the world and vegan festivals. The first vegan festival I went to was in 2000, and I always thought, wow, wouldn't it be great if something like that was in Dublin? And then that kind of idea, I wasn't in a place to actually make it happen. The idea went away, and then the success of vegan festivals like Vegfest, and hearing about them, and obviously getting exposed to them and what's happening in them through social media, it kind of reignited the idea and kept it alive a little bit, and then it's just always there, and then we kind of decided, well, if we're going to do this, we may as well go. This year, the date of Dublin Vegfest is November the 1st, and it just happens to be World Vegan Day as well. We knew it would be at least another 6 years before it fell on a weekend when people are generally free to go to an event like that, so we decided we better do it now. It's kind of will be a bit of a dream come true. And the reason is to kind of really bring all these people that are around Ireland doing such fabulous work, even in their own lives, just living a vegan lifestyle, to activists, campaigners, and people who are curious, about the lifestyle, so that they'll come and hopefully they'll connect with some aspect of living vegan on the day, because we want all those wonderful aspects represented on the day, whether it's activism, campaigning, animal rights, health, the food, obviously, fitness, fun, performance. We want people to see that, you can be vegan and you can be anything else as well. You can be a performer, you can be a baker, you can be a soap maker, you can be an activist, you can be a teacher, whatever it is. And hopefully they'll connect with it and it'll take them a little bit closer to living vegan, and people will feel more connected to the community in Dublin and Ireland, because it'll be Ireland's first vegan festival as well. And it'll be small, we know that at the start, but we're hoping it'll grow year after year and become an important event in people's camp. And the support so far has been fantastic. It's really been great. I'm delighted to get that. Someone said recently it's going to be a reunion of people who've never actually met, because everybody's kind of connected through social media, various Facebook pages, and know each other's profiles, but there's never been a big-ish kind of gathering like this. Really looking forward to meeting and seeing people face to face. I'm sure I'll be smiling from ear to ear on the day.
Is there any events or certain people that you're looking forward to see on the day?
Yeah, in terms of the lineup.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're still working on it. Yeah, we've got a great performer, Shan Brown, and she's coming with her partner. They've got a group called Lamb Dancer. They're playing at Electric Picnic this year, which is a big festival, music festival in Ireland. I'm glad that they're on board. We've got some great speakers from the activist community. We've got Laura Bruxon from Nara, who's going to be talking about really innovative approach to activism. I don't want to give too much away, but it involves technology, and it's really impressive what they're up to at the moment.
That's great. What influenced you to become vegan? Like, take the final step?
The final step?
Yeah.
What influenced me? Well, really what influenced me is I was really lucky to grow up in a household where there were always non-human animals around. When I was a kid, I think when I was less than a year old, a dog was brought into the house, a pup, and my parents thought it'd be a good idea if we grew up together to give me a kind of a healthy upbringing and respect for other animals. At the same time, there was always meat on every main meal that was cooked in the household. On my mother's side, her family were butchers, and we were often brought into this famous butcher shop in Dublin as kids, and I can always remember being horrified. And now, when I think about it, I can really connect with those feelings. I was always quite confused. I was seeing blood and gore around me, and I never felt comfortable there. And I guess somewhere I was always trying to struggle with making the connection between animals that I was always being told to love and respect, and the animal and the food on my plate. And it wasn't until I was in my early 20s that I finally did. Somehow I was working in a restaurant, and I seen meat being prepared all around, and I eventually just said, look, I don't want to work with meat anymore, so I ended up just working with salads, fruits and veg and soups. And then, I wasn't even on the internet at that stage, and so there were no YouTube videos to kind of link in with, get educated about. I wish there was. But somehow those relations that I had with the animals just worked on me, and cats and dogs that I'd been lucky enough to love and care for and had love for me throughout my childhood. I just think it worked on me, and I always have been aboard by seeing acts of violence, even if it was in fiction. I remember being really upset about this movie about killer whale, an orca being hunted as a kid, and really upset about that, and just never liked to see acts of cruelty. And then when I realised that animal foods made from animals are procured through cruelty, that it's impossible to eat a meal that's made from animals that hasn't been brought there through cruelty, I just decided, look, I don't want anything to do with this, so I just decided to take a leap of faith, really, because I didn't have any nutritional evidence that it was going to be okay. Like I said, many YouTube videos to watch. Just take a leap of faith and say, right, I can live on vegetables. And
you survived?
I survived. I'm here today. Yeah. Over 15 years later. And yeah, it worked out. Yeah, and I remember telling someone for the first time, look, I'm not eating eggs or dairy anymore. And he said, so you're vegan? I said, inside I said, vegan? Don't like saying that. What's that? So I had this thing about labels, you know.
Yeah.
Now I'm proud to say I'm vegan. And yeah, I remember going home and talking to friends and saying, I was called a vegan today. Do you know what a vegan is? So I didn't know any vegans at the time. I think that was it. That was what pushed me. Just just struggling to make those connections and do what I knew was right inside. And I just wish that every kid had the support that they need to make those connections. Because I think people will, if the information is given to them, or if they're allowed to have it, and they have a bit of support to really explore how they feel about it. Most people I've met, from what I see, most people are generally kind, want to do the right thing. And if the supports were there, we'd have a lot more vegans, we'd be a lot closer to having a vegan world.
You've mentioned support quite a lot.
Yeah.
So what's the best way for us to help other people get that support?
That's a tough one to answer. I think we've got to talk about it honestly, but I also think we've got to talk about it in a way where I think this is a big struggle, where we're so passionate as vegans and animal rights activists. I think we've got to be able to hear people who don't think like us, and stay with them, stay interested and stay engaged in where they're at the moment. It can be very tough to hear people justify non-vegan activities. But what I try to remember is I was just like them at one stage. And I was lucky throughout my life to get some support in kind of reflecting on my actions and trying to do the right thing. It may not necessarily be encouragement to view other animals as my equals, but it was definitely encouragement to examine how I felt about other humans, in terms of rights and equality, and then it made it easier for me to kind of expand that thinking and include other animals in there. So I think we've got to be able to talk about it honestly, but we've got to be able to accept people for where they are and try and not judge them too much. Try and not judge them at all. Obviously that's the ideal. And be creative. Try and imagine new ways. There's no one ways to connect with people and to advocate for animals. There's no one approach that's going to work for everybody, and sometimes it's a hardline approach that can shake people up, and sometimes it's a soft, fluffy approach. Get back to the food again. It's something that is just has a universal appeal. These seagulls are gorgeous.
Yeah, so we're surrounded by seagulls.
Yeah.
What do you think about the seagull population?
Well, these guys are gorgeous. The young birds have beautiful plumage. And there's a lot of rubbish being talked about seagulls at the moment. I'm a big fan. Yeah, David Cameron, leave them alone. If you're good at something, if you've got a skill set, you've got an interest, you've got a passion for something that isn't animal rights or vegan, it's, if you can dance, if you can sing, if you can paint, if you can cycle, if you can run, whatever it is, if you can hold a video camera and you can ask really insightful questions, try and connect it up with the movement, try and see where you can use it to help others connect with the important message, the vegan lifestyle. Yeah, I think that's really vital. If we're going to have a vegan world, we need people to use their skills and what they do to spread the word.
Do you have any tips for people that want to go vegan?
Well, be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. You've gone on and you've started a journey. That doesn't mean everybody else is ready to even hear about that journey. So I guess be realistic in your expectations. I know when I started, I wanted everybody I cared about to become vegan along with me, and it didn't work out. It took me couple of years to shake that idea off, that unrealistic expectation. And yeah, so be kind to yourself and just be a really good example. I think that's the best way. And keep sharing food and be patient with yourself. Get connected on Facebook, get connected on YouTube, and remember that you've got the rest of your lifetime to work through the issues that it throws up, and ask for support if it's available, where it's available. Yeah, that's it really. Look after your health. Take a B12 supplement.
Thank you. Nice.
Thanks, Amanda. Good luck with your project. It's fantastic. 365 vegans. I don't know what number I'm at, but I'm closer.
Yay, thank you.